That's how excited I am.
I'm super excited for this comic book too, because this is one of my favorite comic books. But once again, for our excitement that just came out, just reeled out of Cammy there.
Yeah.
We are back to our show.
Yes, that's correct.
If you didn't know, if you're coming back again, this is Nerd Escape,
The comic book podcast.
where we talk about everything underrated and overlooked.
Amazing. I'm your host, Cammy.
I'm your host, Jablar. He's amazed because I get that catchphrase wrong every time.
A lot of the
I
time.
say overrated. I'm like, oh, wait, we're talking about overrated
We're
things?
talking about underrated stuff.
Like, we're just coming here bashing comic books. This is overrated. This shit sucks. Not the channel. We only do comic book appreciations here.
Hell yeah.
And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, Anchor, any way you can, leave a review.
Please.
Stars, comments. You know, we love to make some
We want to
friends
get
on
out
the
to
internet.
the masses. I need more friends, too.
She does. And she needs a friend of some sort.
What's this supposed to
Follow
mean?
us on IG at nerd_escape.
Yes.
At nerd_escape. You can see some good pictures there. And if you're listening, a pocket listener, I know I'm an avid listener. I like the headphones, me at work and stuff. But if you watch on YouTube, we're also on YouTube now. So go to
Yes.
YouTube, type in Nerd Escape, comic books will probably be the one that pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Like and subscribe there. You can see our egregious faces.
I'm not egregiously
She's very
faced.
beautiful, but I'm growing a beard out right now from my regular mustache stance.
It looks good.
To grow beard, May, June, see, whatever. I don't follow those crazy things. I just don't like shaving.
He doesn't like the trends.
I don't like shaving. I do the opposite year of the trends. But like and subscribe us on YouTube. We do roll clips of that. And today, Nerd Escape featured comic book, episode 26.
Are you ready?
I'm correct, I believe. It is a classic character with a new spin on it. Silver
Can you guess?
Surfer Black. Yes, Silver Surfer, as you know him, he is as the public knows him, he is the humanoid alien with metallic skin who surfs the cosmos on his surfboard, and he just that's not surf music, that was the chicken music.
Yeah,
That was me with my guitar.
He's trying to be the sound guy.
That's what he's surfing to. When he's surfing the cosmos, that's what I hear in my head. Just like,
Really?
yeah, just scratching guitars.
I don't think you can hear anything in space.
But yes, this was published in 2019. So the modern times. Marvel, of course, is the publisher.
Pre-pandemic.
Yes. Right before pre-pandemic, yes. But written by Donny Cates, who's becoming a Marvel rock star in the shortness of this new era of Marvel comic books, and the illustrator.
The one and only. Our God.
Our God. Tradmore.
Tradmore.
Oh, man. Tradmore, he is just slow. He gets better and better and better and better and better and better. It's just, I'm sure he's working on his masterpiece right now that he will release on all of us. But if you have never heard of Tradmore, go look his art up. It's his comic book art is standalone. He does a lot of cover arts for individual comic books. Like if the comic book has nothing to do with him, he's just like, hey, can I do a cover? They're just like, yeah. They probably ask him to do a cover.
Please, God, I beg of
And
thee.
he has done all the art for a whole Silver Surfer comic book. The cosmic going through space, meeting crazy planets and fighting enemies in space. And it's masterfully done. It's ridiculous.
Makes me like it more.
Yes. Before we dive into much why it's called Silver Surfer Black, because there's some reasons why, and there's a crazy new character that's associated with Donny Cates that's in here as well. Please tell the people what the creators, who we're dealing with here.
We've got Donny Cates.
Where can we find them and all that?
Donny Cates. He's originally from Dallas. So, Texas rep. I think he lives here in Austin now.
Texas.
So, hopefully we run into him and say, hey, dude, hi.
Yeah, follow him on IG.
Follow him on IG.
Happy life. Happy wife.
So, on IG, he is at D Cates. DCATES. And on Twitter, he is at Don Cates.
Oh, okay.
CATES. So pretty cool. This guy, again, he's from Dallas. His works include Venom, Thanos, Doctor Strange, Redneck, Baby Teeth,
Wow.
God Country, He went to the Savannah College of Art and Design, where he met Tradd Moore.
Oh yeah,
they went to school together. So like they're BFFs, and it's crazy. It's crazy to think about. And they also know Jeff Shaw. Like I think all three of them were at school together at the same time. Jeff Shaw is a colorist.
Okay,
if I remember correctly, sounds about right.
Yeah, Donny Cates is taking Venom to like this new, like evolved level in the new Marvel universe.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll get into the new enemy. He created a whole new villain. But yeah, let's continue.
We love new enemies, right?
Yes, they're awesome.
So he was introduced into Marvel, and so he internshiped with them, and so like he did a couple of things. He got an award, and then he was soon like off to Dark Horse and really did a lot of creating there. And then once he had done Dark Horse, he decided to go independent and kind of just do his own thing. And so he's doing the damn thing, and he's doing a really good job at it. So please give Donny some love, some support.
He does that crazy comic book crossover. I think I showed you I was reading.
Yeah.
It's like
I need to read it.
The comic book world spills over into the real world.
Oh.
And people, like, it's like legit, like old school comic book characters, like Transformers. And people, it was at this like convention center where it happened, and a lot of people died. And so people go to comic book stores and they want to burn them down, like protesting outside of them. And it's like, this is evil. This ruins everything. And Donny Cates actually gets transformed into this comic book, and he's like in jail, and he's just like, oh crap. Like it's pretty crazy.
Okay.
He like writes himself into his own comic book.
All right. That's
like,
cool.
Breaks the fifth wall of reality.
Book cameos. Those are always really fun.
Oh, yeah.
So then we have the illustrious Tradd Moore. Literally, he does not have any social media, and there is nothing on the interwebs about him.
He is so private, and I love it.
He is so private, which is A-okay.
We're big on mind your business.
100%. Because guess what? You age gracefully when you mind your business. So.
We have people pop up, you're like, I haven't seen that guy in a while. He's looking good. He's like 60. He's like, he's been minding his business.
100%. He is staying out of it.
I remember who was it that we saw that we were like, man, he looks good. He's like, he's been minding his business for quite a while. I forgot.
I don't know, but there's a lot of them.
Like
which
Keanu
is good.
Reeves hold his shit together because mind your business.
Staying out of it. Tradd Moore. He's just a really good. He's just art is amazing. Again, if you have not read anything like drawn by Tradd Moore, I don't know what you're doing.
We do an episode on The New World.
Please.
By Elias Cott and Tradd Moore. That's now nobody's heard of that comic, but I've never heard of it until she picked it up, and I'm like, holy crap, what is this masterpiece?
So
like the art is intricate.
It's just so good. It's just I can't even give it justice. I cannot do it justice. It is so good. Please, Tradd Moore. He actually just, because I think a lot of people have recently seen his Doctor Strange
for Fortnite
cover art. Was it for Fortnite?
It was for Fortnite, yeah.
Well, I'm sure everyone's seen that and everyone loves it, and it's just so good. But if you go on, he has a website. It is traddmorecomics.com, and you'll see all of his artwork. And so those things sell out super fast on Felix Comics all the time.
He does like a Bloodborne piece that's amazing.
Oh yeah, he does
An
Dune,
Alien one.
Yeah,
with Riddick, not Riddick. What's the main character from Alien? Sigourney Weaver's character, Ripley.
Know.
Yeah,
okay.
there's Ripley in there. He's one of those artists who he barely puts out stuff, but when he puts out stuff, you better be on it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think he knows that, and he's also just living his best life, just chilling, because he doesn't have to be this big egotistical. Because you think Tradd Moore knows he's a badass?
I don't know. Does
he know he's our guy?
I feel like he seems like the type, he might second guess himself. Like he knows he's doing a good job, but he second guesses himself.
Oh, yeah.
And which is okay because we're all human. We do it.
I didn't even know. I was reading the Legend of Luther Stroud, and that's a really good comic book. And that was Tradd Moore's first one. And
okay.
He has grown so much from that. Like that's still good, but looking back on that was like his beginning stuff. And it was kind of tamed in a way. I think he was nervous to kind of unleash his art style. And I got
so good.
All right, we can't just
talk about Tradd Moore.
About Tradd Moore. Go find Tradd Moore stuff. It's amazing.
One of his most recent works he has done, like after this one, was Batman Black and White, volume, or I think issue number 1. Sorry, issue number 1. So, and that was released out in 2020. So I have to find that one. We have to find it.
More Batman.
We have to find that. And then we have Dave Stewart, who did the colors. So Donny wrote the story, Trad did the art, and we've got our color version. So you can find Dave on IG at Dragon Monkey MNKY.
I think we featured him before on here.
Probably.
Colorists are, they're all like they always pop up. There's a few popular ones.
There's also not a lot about him. He's also pretty secretive. I was really surprised that I found his IG. But he has worked with DC, Marvel, Dark Horse, and Image. He's the creator of Ultra Mega.
Oh, yes,
or at least one of the creators of Ultra Mega.
Yeah. About that. That's why he was featured on here.
Yeah. So
and,
he's so good.
I can't believe I forgot the other big creator, but Ultra Mega.
So good. Did we do an episode on? We did an episode. I was like,
yes.
I remembered us doing.
We're always bringing up these badass, like, oh, that one's badass. We talked about that one already.
Yeah. But he's also done Hellboy, Star Wars, one called Human Target, The Goon, Body Bags, and Fatale. I kind of want to read Body Bags and Fatale.
Okay.
Because that sounds really cool. But yeah, so that's Dave Stewart. So go follow all these people.
I'd like to give credit where credit's due.
They're good.
It's been a while since I said that. I love a featured episode, baby. Featured episode back.
They're so nice. So, please just do yourself a favor.
By the way, the Easter egg for the next Mini Manga Mania Monday is in the background. So, if you want to zoom in and figure it out yourself, go ahead.
It's so blurry.
Oh man, I love the creators, hearing about them and hearing about our God and Savior Trad more.
The one I own.
So this is why I stay private.
WWTM.
Okay.
What would
Silver
Trad
Surfer.
more do?
It's like bracelets. Oh man, God, so good. Okay, moving on. Silver Surfer Black, as I said before, published 2019, and this picks up on a Marvel's always constantly moving with their movies, and then the new Thor things, and Marvel, it's a whole universe, and DC does it too, but not as often as Marvel. They'll blend a comic book series with 5 other issues from a different comic book series that's a Marvel, and they're but if you want to carry on to what these characters are doing in this story, buy this different comic book. They do that a lot. They've been doing that for ages.
Yeah.
And so this one picks up, so I'll read the synopsis on the back of Silver Surfer Black. In the Guardians of the Galaxy in the Cosmos, so in that comic book, the greatest defenders were thrown through a black hole, including Silver Surfer, but his story doesn't end there. To beat back Oblivion and avoid losing himself in the darkness, the Sential of the Spaceways must call on his inner light to save his own soul. With his power cosmic fading and all the consuming darkness ascending, will help come in form of an unexpected ally? When the Silver Surfer discovers something with the potential power to turn the tide, is he prepared to pay the terrible price for awaking it? For awaking it? How does the Surfer predicament tie into the sinister world of symbiotes? Venom symbiotes. Donny Cates and Trad Moore take the Silver Surfer on a journey that will change him forever, and it does. So just run through some of my notes. It was very surprising to me to see what happened here, and I was introduced into a new character, and we'll get to that when I read this, and it blew my mind. So, Silver Surfer, also known as Norn Rad, was his original identity of Zenlon, his planet, the Herald of Galactus. So, popular demand. We'll go over the basics. He was a young astronomer named Norn Rad on the planet Zenlon. He saved his homeworld from being devoured by Galactus. And Galactus, he's just this guy who will show up to your planet and he's like, I'm about to eat your planet. I'm going to destroy it, eat everything so I can get more powerful. And he does this to many worlds all across universes, galaxies, whatever. So Silver Surfer serves as his herald. So Silver Surfer gets on his little surfboard and he travels the cosmos and he goes, Earth. This is a nice spot. I think I'm going to stop here and I'll call Galactus hey, I scouted these spots. So why Galactus has this trail of planets to hit because Silver Surfer is doing this. So Norn Rad pretty much is please save my planet, spare my planet, and I'll work for you. So that's the way his whole little backstory starts. He can travel faster than light. That's his fun fact. His first appearance was in Jack Kirby's Fantastic Four number 48. I believe that was like in Jack Kirby's time, the 70s, I believe. So 60s or 70s. My research sucks.
I don't know.
Yeah. But he's also has he has the Galactus trilogy. He even fights, he takes on Thor, and he even fights Thanos at some points in the backstories.
Nice.
But the story takes place at the tail end of Guardians of the Galaxy issue, where some of the Guardian Galaxies at the time, like Beta Ray Bill, Howard the Duck, Ghost Rider's in there, they're all falling through this like vector black hole in the beginning. So that's like how the first panel is. They're just falling through this black hole, and it's like, what the hell's going on?
Ghost Rider on his bike?
I
can't remember.
He's the one throwing his chains around. Those chains.
Yes.
It was like this new rendition of Ghost Rider. But they're all tumbling through it. Silver Surfer helps them to get out, but he falls further into the black hole. The scene is, of course, Moore is doing. Like, she didn't know. Like when I first read it, I didn't really know what was going on. She didn't know what was going on, but I'm like, look at this. Look, it's amazing. You're seeing it right now on YouTube as well. It is just crazy space mania, insane, like radical man. Okay, I'm saying that right now.
Yikes.
But Silver Surfer lands on some unknown planet where he is attacked by 3 very unique wizard knight enemies. Like, it's nothing I've ever seen before. Like, It's this, like, one can open up like these little portals, and like one other one's like shoving the knife through the portal and then attacking Silver Surfer. Then one can like do magic, and it like these like sledgehammer arms. I know it sounds crazy what I'm saying right now, but the way Moore does it, and then Silver Surfer's like dodging it, like the way he shows motion in his panels, it's ridiculous.
Good.
But these Guardians are guarding this dark planet, and Knull is there. Knull. If you haven't heard of Knull, this is the gods, the original creator of the symbiotes. So Knull, he's also connecting with the new Thor movie as well. Knull will not be in there. But there's a little background on Knull, because when I first read this, it blew my mind when I read this. I was like, who is this character? He looks so cool. He's like long white hair. He has like a white face, and like I think he has like black lips and like black eyes, and then he has like this red scorpion on his chest. And his first appearance was in March 2013, but he was unidentified, but he's a Thor god. So in the new movie Thor, what's the bad guy Christian Bale's playing?
Is it Narg? Gorn?
Glog? I think it's Gorg. Gore. We're going to Gorn. It's Gorn. So the enemy Gorn, who's fighting Thor, is actually wielding the sword that the symbiote king Knull made. And so Knull was fighting. So basically, before creation was ever around, Knull was just like, he was in a ball, like this naked little, like shriveled little skeleton looking man in the void of space. Like there was nothing was created. And then poof, the Celestials that you hear about in Marvel, if you know really well, or if you watch Eternals, the Celestials created the planets. They created everything. They show up in like legit the panel, and like some of the Knull comic books is like they're just like doing this with their hand, and planets are just coming out of it, and they're just like stars, planets. Yeah, that's what we do. And so Knull's like, you just come in my place and you call it space, like it needs to be filled. It's called a void. Like, I'm the king of the void, and that's what he pretty much is. He's he is the void, the elder god, lord of the abyss, king in black is some of the new Marvel stuff coming out, and he's like pretty much taking on all the Avengers and all the X-Men. They're having to team up to fight him, and it's pretty tragic what he's doing to them. But it's pretty, like, this is the one villain where I'm like cheering for him. I never really have a lot of those. I know some people, like, you got your Vegetas and you got your, I don't know, your Sasuke's and your whatever. Like, you have a villain that you love?
No.
Not one villain you love?
They're bad.
Well, this is my first villain that I love. Like, I love seeing him just.
This is his
rock people.
Villain origin story.
Yes. But there was the primordial void. And so whenever they put everything out there, he got pissed. So Knull created a weapon known as the all-black Necro Sword. And that Necro Sword was the alien race symbiotes were created. And so the sword is known as the symbiotes, and it's the God Slayer. So he legit kills gods with that. So what's taking place in that Thor movie is Knull was fighting these gods, and he fell down on this planet where Gorn was at. And basically, Gorn's people were dying, and he got this sword, and he got so pissed at the gods because he was praying to them that now Gorg wants to kill all the gods. But he's using Noel's sword. And so that's just the little background of the background story. But Silver Surfer runs into Noel. And it's because when Silver Surfer went down that black hole, he went back in time billions of years when darkness only existed and there was nothing created yet. It took me like 3 reads to realize this. He goes back billions of years. How do you feel about that, Cam?
I mean, what are you going to do?
And then you run to like the king
like,
of the
sees
void.
Noel, he's like, oh, do you come here often? And Noel's like,
No,
I fucking live here.
No one
Get out
else
of my
lives
void.
here, yeah.
You're my living room.
He's gone back billions of years. Before there was life, creation, it's cold and dark.
It's cold and
And it's kind of a new Marvel mythology that Donny Cates and Trav Moore creates. The ending is very, very beautiful and has like it legit took me like 3 reads and like a review to realize what was going on. But it's like this big full circle thing happens, and Noel and him just had these crazy star fights. There are crazy characters that he allies with. I won't spoil it for you, but
can't do it.
It's a very, very big, huge, spherical character.
Spherical?
He's spherical.
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 No, spherical.
I said spherical.
It's not spherical.
Okay.
Because I don't know what spherical is.
Spherical.
That's spherical.
Spherical. Okay, whatever she said. We're not. We can't argue
It's a
about
sphere.
But oh my, it's just the art is so beautiful.
It's really
And then he goes back billions of years. And so, what was Galactus doing back then? So he runs into like a premature Galactus, and that's how this whole crazy unfolding as well. But when every time he uses his power, his little cosmic power, his like arm and stuff will go black. And so pretty much when he uses that, his body goes from silver to like this black with like kind of like rainbow textures in it. And just traveling through space and time and black holes, Trav Moore brings out like he draws like Picasso crazy stuff sometimes. It's like, oh man, it's ridiculous.
It's really good.
But just imagine if like Galactus came to your planet, like he was just like, imagine if I'm Galactus and just like, oh, like I'm standing over your planet and I'm just like, oh, this planet looks plump.
Sir, can you get down
Great.
from that? Sir, can you get down here?
Who are you?
Sir.
I am the great Galactus. I've come to devour your planets. Unless you couldn't contrive me to not.
You're covering the sun. Here's the thing.
There's always one of you just trying to
Look, we're dying here.
You're
All
dying.
of us, D-E-A-D, dead.
Well, I can make it very fast if you like. I don't know. You look pretty good. That
no.
baby over there looks pretty plump. Let's
Look.
see a plump baby.
The babies are always also dying. They are dead.
It looks pretty plump over
But
there.
they're kind of plump. They're
Yeah.
diseased.
They're diseased.
They're bloated.
Oh.
So
Well.
you could take them.
I do
As
like diseased
long-
babies. It's a very fine taste. The
Delicacy, if you will.
delicacy. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Perfect. But we've
Native
got a lot
planet.
of delicacies here. So
Oh,
if you
okay.
just want to snatch those up, we can grab a
Well,
truck and
I
just
have this
pile them in.
opening for this crazy job. I pretty much coach you in silver texture, and I give you a surfboard. You get a free transport, no paying for gas. I got that all covered. I just need you to scout planets for me, and I'll devour them. That's how I devour planets. That's how it sounds.
You might need
and
to. I might teach you how to eat better, but
I might get my straw out and eat your planet right now.
I would prefer you not to. I'll give you all of the babies.
All
Like,
of, but won't
all of
that
the
stop your
babies.
race from? So will you be my herald?
we're already thinking about hopping off of this planet anyway. So yeah, sure. I'll join your little crew of misfits. I mean, I'm the only misfit at this point, and you're just kind of doing the mischief.
Nice. All right, here's your gear. Your Silver Surfer. Go find me some planets. And right when you leave, your planet's gone. Sorry.
Dude, what about the babies? You left them.
Yeah, they weren't that good.
I knew I should have used more salt.
They tasted like nori. I don't like the seaweed taste,
Why are the babies tasting like seaweed?
Oh.
Those poor babies.
What did that improv go to? Disease, delicacy, babies, Galactus likes.
Pre-salted. Salted
Let's
at
go to
birth.
Michael Scott. I got a gun. Oh, that's good. That's good stuff. But yes, just jumping to the old school Q&A. Just the general questions of what we always ask. The Nerd Escape Q&A session. It's been a while. I missed the Q&As. Here we go. So I ask you, and it'll probably be the same for both of us. What was your favorite thing about Silver Surfer Black? The art.
The art.
WW.
WWJ. No.
TM.
What would TD? Yep. WWTD. What would Tradmore do? TMD.
The art is amazing.
It's so good. I mean, and the color is brilliant as well. Like Dave Stewart and Tradmore as a team. Kapow. Right in the gut. Mm-hmm. It's so good. Like, I think we were at lunch one time or dinner. We were eating out somewhere, and I was just staring at the pages. Dude, look at how sick this is.
It's sick.
So good.
It's like perfect for Silver Surfer because it's just like gnarly. It's like, he's so intricate, and the motion he shows, it's like
so good.
Reason we're doing this because more people need to read this comic book. Like,
I agree.
Like, the past ones we reviewed, yes, read those, but this one's so tiny too. Like, it's like, look how thick it is. It's like so tiny. I think it's 5 issues, and just every page, I would take either one of them just for an art piece on my wall. It's
oh yeah.
Oh man.
Like, this is probably one of my first Marvel reads that I've ever read, and honestly, I think this was a great introduction into a Marvel story. Because now I'm very interested in Silver Surfer's like whole entire story, and normally I don't get that way because everything's like kind of overworked, and you know, you hear about the same Marvel comics, and like
it's a whole sell
plot.
too.
So it's like I mean, they know what's gonna sell. That's fine, but Silver Surfer is really good, and I really wish that this one, specifically this one, would be adapted into a whole storyline. So
the animated series, like something,
something, because this would be so good. But I think this is a really, like, for people who don't read Marvel, this is a really good spot to start. Granted, will I read any more Marvel?
We'll find some of them.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see. I really want to. I've always been interested in Spawn because we've only had one Spawn movie, or have we had 2? DC. Oh, is that DC?
Yeah.
I thought Spawn was Marvel.
No, it's Image. It's one of the first Image comic books ever written. It's Image.
Spawn?
Yeah. Because Image is the guy who left to make that. He's like one of the CEOs of Image comic books now.
Okay. Well,
I can't believe I forgot his name, but that's a good. That's a very popular one. But honestly, Spawn's kind of underrated too. He's under the shelf. You know? But Marvel stuff. There's some good X-Men. Like Rick Remender does some X-Men. Mm-hmm. The Dark X-Men ones. Or the X-Force. But yeah, it's so hard because it's just like, one, we talked about it before, you get an issue of DC or Marvel, you flip through a single issue, you just have ads, and it
takes you
throws
away
you off.
from the story.
It's like, here's an ad for a Superman action figure, and I'm like reading like King in Black Knoll comic book, and I'm like, okay,
which is really interesting to me because are they trying to keep up with tradition, or are they really just trying to sell you on these other
There was
comics?
Ads back in the day too.
Okay, well, here's my thing, like, you're DC and Marvel, you know people are going to pick up your stuff. Like, you make billions of dollars every single year. But like, put the ads at the end. Like, manga has their ads at the very end. Because guess what? I like seeing the ads at the end because I'm like, oh, okay, cool. What's coming out or what's new? And it's right there. So Marvel and DC, figure it out, because I would be more interested in reading. Yeah. You would have another...
If you wait for go get the volume. The volume doesn't have any ads in it.
Yeah.
And that's why I usually wait for volumes if I really want to read something with DC. It's not worth it to me to like read through a book and you have ads in it. It's like, who wants to read a novel or a book and have an ad in the middle of your book, like repeatedly, like every third page is an ad. But we'll get off that. My favorite thing,
soapbox.
For the art, that's top tier. Yeah. But I would say the fact that Knoll is in here. This is the first time I never heard of Knoll, and Knoll was blowing up from Donny Cates, and it made me go pick up every Knoll issue I get. But Marvel also has the whole thing where it's like, buy this issue if you want to know more what happened to this guy. Buy this issue of this other comic book. And I like this one because it's a standalone. Like, it's Silver Surfer gets thrown to a black hole, and he runs into Noel. And I was like, who the heck is this Noel guy? And Noel's just like on a black red like dragon on the back of it, and just with it, dude, he looks so badass. Like, I love Noel, and it made me fall in love with the character. You know what? I was gonna ask the next question: who was your favorite character? Noel was my favorite character in this. Silver Surfer was amazing. My first introduction to the character. I hope it blows up for Marvel. I hope they put him in the cinema, the part of the movies after this one with Thor, and hell, bring Silver Surfer in. But it's Lethal Gore.
I kind of just hope that Marvel does a Silver Surfer on its own.
Yeah, they need to, because they did the Fantastic Four, the terrible ones. Remember?
Twice.
With Jessica Bell.
That's
Jessica Bell, right?
Jessica.
No, Jessica Bell.
No, you're thinking of Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba. And the Flying Torch guy who is now Captain America.
Chris Evans.
The Silver Surfer looked cool, and he was voiced by Morgan Fishburne, I think.
In
Fantastic Four movie.
Oh,
but
it's been so long.
I liked when he showed up.
That.
It was pretty cool. But even Galactus, like, his whole might thing is like the artwork in the beginning of this, it shows Galactus like devouring planets, and it was kind of terrifying. But I'll say the favorite thing, was definitely the standalone story of Silver Surfer, and then favorite character was Noel. Do you have any favorite character besides?
No, I really just kind of, to me, it was like really understanding the story. It was very philosophical. Like, I was like, part of me was just did not know if I was reading correctly. It was like, am I dumb? Am I dense? But it's just really philosophical of a story. So it was really, I was more focused on that versus really having a favorite character.
Yeah.
All the characters I think were well written, and they Donny did a really good job of like kind of giving descriptors about every character and giving them certain personalities. To like, Noel was definitely very scary. Galactus, he's a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a
Him and
being.
Galactus have like a mind like fight, like turning into like a conscious snake, and then one an eagle, and then a wolf. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, so Galactus, he's chill, I guess. Silver, he's interesting. I think I definitely would want to see more of him as a
he has a lot of pain.
Not as Silver Surfer, but as Noel. What is his name? What is his
Norrin?
What a nerd.
Norrin Rad. His last name's Rad, though. But
Norrin.
And then the last issue is very philosophical, and like has to do with like death and rebirth, and like, you know, and like when I first read it, I'm pretty sure when Cammy first read it, it was like, what is this Donny Cates going off about? He's like getting really, really deep right now. And it turns out at the end, when he was writing the issue, he was in an airport. And in the airport, he got the news that, what's his name, died. Stan Lee. So Donny Cates was in the airport, and he had almost the last issue of Silver Surfer Black done. And then he found out that Stan Lee passed away. So he sat there and he, like, you know, had a breakdown, kind of like cried a bit, and then he deleted the whole file, and so he rewrote it. And so it's about like rebirth and death. Like, the last one is very, very deep, and he dedicated the last issue because I think he said Silver Surfer ended up being one of his favorite, Stan Lee's favorite characters, and so Donny was met Stan Lee at one of the conferences, and told him, like, I don't know how much to thank you for being like so amazing and so good at what you do. And Stanley was like, you're doing it already. I told him that I could never thank him enough for everything he had done for comics and for me. Stan looked up at me and smiled without missing a beat. He says, well, you sure can try.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
He says, sure you can try. And start working for the company. I'm sure he's met the boss man. And so just to note, this is also like the last issue is dedicated to Stan Lee, which is very, very beautiful. Silver Surfer Black.
So good. Go pick it up.
Go get it. Go to the comic book store. Go ask your comic book guy. Your comic book guy's gonna be like, you want Silver Surfer Black? That's some good shit. Like, that's gonna be
at least
response.
Hopefully they like it.
Yeah.
Enough to tell them, oh, I know exactly where that is.
Oh yeah. It's and Travmore, amazing. Other than that, man, you got any other nerd news? We've been nerding out lately. There's a lot of nerd stuff that's happening right now in the summer. Cammy's starting to watch Star Wars. Can you believe that? Obi-Wan got her hooked. Now we're going through the trilogies.
So I've always
Speaking
been
of more space,
interested in watching Star Wars, but everyone's. I'm going to be very selective with my words.
no, don't let them have it. Let the Star Wars. You wannabe nerds, mainstream nerd mofos.
Everyone has Darth Vader's lightsaber up their butts. So I've never been like it.
Unsubscribe. Fuck you.
It legit turns me off, like how much people like Star Wars. So it's taken me this long to for the hype to die down, to actually watch it. And I love my best friend. She loves Star Wars. Like she has every Darth Vader Funko Pop people give her them too, and I love her for it. But I still do not understand. They're good. I've been watching. I think I've watched 3 of them so far.
We're watching them the way you're supposed to watch, in my opinion. The episode 4, 5, 6. So the old ones like Luke Skywalker, Han Solo. So we watched all Obi-Wan, and then we just finished 4, 5, 6. So she's seen the old 70s ones,
right? And they're good. Yeah. I think they're actually very good for, like cinematically and storyline. They're very good for when they were made. Very good. Do I understand why people have lightsabers up their butt?
So that's when Darth Vader's making love to you.
He needs a new respirator. With all this technology, here's the
tearing
thing.
it up.
With all of this technology, he needs something quieter. And I do not understand. He has the money. He can choke people out. Just choke people out and steal their money. I don't understand.
He has the whole empire. He doesn't need to take their pocket change. It's like upside down.
Well, then why does he have a loud-ass respirator?
Because his lungs were burned.
His respirator.
She hasn't watched 1, 2, 3 yet. She hasn't seen Annie. She knows.
Does he get a new respirator?
No, that's the one he's issued. He never gets one. You saw him die.
Here's the thing. I did.
Yeah.
But he should have had a good respirator with all the technology that I had.
Yeah.
Period. I don't want to hear it.
Like, yeah, so we're going to Star Wars and then Stranger Things. Oh my God, just drops of everything. Yeah. Well, no spoilers on that, but God, that stuff is so good for the hits of the 80s. Just like they're hitting that so good. The writing is just, Duffer Brothers get better and better writing every time. So besides we're not reading comic books, we're just, trying to stay in this Texas heat. So the best thing sometimes to do is either jump in some water or stay inside and just watch some stuff. Read some comic books, some mangas. But yeah, it's kind of funny. I said I'd bring it up that I am slowly... I put Cammy on a canoe and I'm like wading her through the waters of Star Wars.
I'm like, but stop! You're tilting the boat.
I get it because I watch every movie when it comes out, but when I walk out, I also am the drunk idiot who's like, that sucked. Like, y'all are like, I hate to say it, I call Star Wars nerds like mainstream nerds. Like,
they are.
Your grandma, my dad, my stepdad, everyone. Your mom is like, I know about that. It's like I don't know. And it's cool, the Force and all that, but like I said, we don't like we're overrated and overlooked.
Yeah, we're trying to overlook.
Oh God, we're just killing our reputation right now, just bashing
people
Star
are just
Wars.
like, I'm unsubscribing. There are 14 listeners and viewers. They're like, God, disgusting.
We're enjoying it. We're enjoying them. I'm enjoying watching.
I'm enjoying them,
but it's like some stuff. It's like so corny. Where it's like Han Solo shoots one stormtrooper, and then all 20 of them turn around and run away, and he's just like, yeah, and it's like she goes, why did they run? And I was like, I ask myself that every time.
But notoriously, the stormtroopers are supposed to be stupid.
Yeah, they're dumb.
So, like, I get the canon of it. So, yeah, Star Wars is interesting. I do not understand why people still like really love it, but I do understand why it can be very enjoyable.
Okay.
Luke kisses his sister.
They never. I think the only notion of that is whenever Leia tells Han Solo, like, he's my brother, and he goes, oh, and then he goes, oh,
yeah,
and he's like,
and I'm like,
in
yeah,
his head
dude.
he goes, you kissed him, and she's kind of like,
discretions. That's weird.
My favorite character is Jabba the Hutt's his little puppet guy who's just like he's always laughing all the time.
Laughing. That's the guy who's like constantly laughing at jokes that are not funny.
He laughs
just so
at everything.
He can fit in.
No, yes, you're totally right. He actually has a name, and I think some of my nerd friends are just like, oh, they know the guy with the whole like pink head tail, and he's just like Zabadua.
God.
Jichuta. It's like the piss off of Star Wars language.
Yeah.
He's like, but yeah, you love some R2D2. That's one of your favorites.
Oh, I love
That's
R2.
sassy.
Very sassy. And then CP3O is a little bitch.
that's
just what he is.
Leave your opinions on comments on YouTube or somewhere. What do you think of Star Wars?
The Ewoks are also adorable.
Nah.
And I like I had watched Star Wars movies when I was like a little bit younger than what I am now. I don't know, and I always watched like bits and pieces. I always fell asleep. They were just not something that I wanted to watch. But I always remember when Leia feeds the Ewoks, I think like a rice cake, and that was like my favorite part. I was like, oh my god!
He just sits next to her like.
Yeah, like she just kind of like.
They were well done for the time.
So
they were very well.
They're pretty good,
well
and I
done.
think that's when I really was like, what is that? And it's a rice cake. Someone told me it was a rice cake. And I was like, I want rice cakes now.
Yeah,
a little Ewok.
But yes, got off a little trail there, but I just had to bring up some nerdy stuff.
What?
This has been Nerd Escape, episode 26, Silver Surfer Black, written by Donny Cates, art done by our one true god, Tradmore. Please listen to this.
Colored by Dave Stewart.
Dave Stewart, he kills it as well. Like, if you don't read comic books, if you never read a Silver Surfer comic book, go get this one. It's untouchable. It's a masterpiece.
It's touchable, but
it's touchable. Literally, it's tangible, touchable, but it's nothing like you can't compare it to anything.
No,
I don't think you can compare it to anything. Yes, that's where we're bringing you the goods here for comic book appreciations. Mm-hmm. So you know what it is. Thank you for listening. Bye, Silver Surfer Black. I'm Jablar. This has been Nerd Escape,
comic book podcast,
where we talk about everything underrated and overlooked, and make you start doing that part.
Okay.
Until next time, keep reading, buy some mangas, buy some comic books.
Take the
follow us on
lightsaber
IG.
Out of your
Nerd_escape. What'd you say?
Doesn't matter. We're leaving. Goodbye, babies. A new respirator. Please. Someone go fund him.